today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be, and Nash Samhamin Tashem. The guest of honor he shall be, this clever Mr. Smarty, and high above us he shall swing at a little hanging party. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be, and Nash Samhamin Tashem. Of all his cruel and unkind, this little joke did cure him. And don't forget, we owe him thanks for this jolly feast of Purim. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be, and Nash Samhamin Tashem. The gun verse always throws me off because chutzpah and shoot sir do not rhyme, but that more power to you. Okay, great. Now that we've really set the tone for this service, we're ready to segue fully into our prayers with the Chatzi Kaddish on page 263. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba be'alma divrachir tevim lich malchutei v'chayechon uv'yom echon uv'chayetecho beit Yisrael bagala uv'izman kariv ve'imeru amen yeheshmei rabba mevarach Le'alamu al me'amaya yitbarach ve'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudasha barichu le'la min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata tamiran be'ama Ve'imeru, amen. Please prepare yourself for the call to worship, the Baruch Hu on page 264. Yai-dai, yai-dai-dai, yai-dai-dai-dai, yai-dai-dai, yai-dai, yai-dai-dai, yai-dai-dai-dai-dai, yai-dai. Barechu et Adonai hamevorach hamevorach Baruch Adonai hamevorach leolam leolam vaed. Praise Adonai, to whom all praise is due. Praise Adonai, to whom all praise is due. Praise Adonai, to whom all praise is due. Now and forever. Yai-dai, yai-dai-dai, yai-dai-dai-dai, yai-dai-dai, yai-dai, yai-dai-dai, yai-dai-dai-dai-dai, yai-dai, yai-dai-dai, yai-dai-dai-dai, yai-dai-dai, yai-dai, yai-dai-dai-dai-dai. Please be seated. And we continue together on page 265. Adonai, your majesty, is proclaimed by the marvels of earth and sky. Sun, moon, and stars testify to your power and wisdom. Day follows day in endless succession, and the years vanish, but your sovereignty endures. Though all things pass, let not your glory depart from us. Help us to become co-workers with you, and endow our fleeting days with your abiding worth. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. On page 267 is the Shema, followed by the Ve'ahavta. I invite you to prepare yourself for these words of Torah. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha b'derech uvshachlecha uvkumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot beinenecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim Elohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim v'hiot lachem l'Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem. You may be seated, and we read responsively on page 269. We worship the power that unites the universe, a promise of harmony for all. Before our eyes there is a vision of perfection, order, and goodness. When will redemption come? Long ago, we escaped tyranny of Egypt. Our people saw the power of the Most High. We learned God's presence redeems time and events, so we celebrate this power that makes for freedom. Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai, micha mocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osef eleh, nora tehilot osef eleh. Malechutecha ra'u banecha, bokei ayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, ze'eli anu ve'ameru, ze'eli anu ve'ameru, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. Page 272. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם בריתו עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בריתו עולם. Before we continue on with the central portion of our evening prayer, we take another Purim segue to sing Ani Purim. This is a good one if you need to get up and dance. I picture this one with a lot of, this. Okay. Ani Purim, sameach umvadeach, halo ra'ak pa'am bashana avo lehitraeach. Yai-dai, 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 yai-dai. My name is Purim, and I come great fun and frolic bringing. Just once a year I visit you to cheer you with my singing. Yai-dai-dai, yai-dai, 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 yai-dai. Hurrah Purim, we love your merry drumming. And if we had our way, Purim, each month you would be coming. Yai-dai-dai, yai-dai, 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 yai-dai. Very nice. That was excellent dancing. Bring that energy next time we do Miriam's song, guys. All right. Whew, wait, I need a drink of water before we do the tefillah. All right. The tefillah begins on page 273. I invite you to prepare yourself for this set of blessings. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Eternal God, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu. Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chastei Avod v'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, L'ma'an Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Abraham Mezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol atah Rav lehoshia, Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem, Mechakel chayim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim ve'rofeh cholim, Omatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha ba'al gevurot, Umido melach, Melech memit u'mechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atal hachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh u'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yehalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. You may be seated. We continue together on page 279. Be gracious, Adonai our God, to your people Israel, and receive our prayers in love. O may our worship always be acceptable to you. Fill us with the knowledge that you are near to all who seek you in truth. Let our eyes behold your presence in our midst and in the midst of our people in Zion. Blessed is Adonai, whose presence renews Zion. In the middle of the next blessing, we are going to turn to a special Purim insert of gratitude on page 557. So for ease of continuity, if you want to just put your finger in there, and we're going to kind of flip back and forth, like where it says on Hanukkah, turn to page 556, but it's not Hanukkah, it's Purim, but they're the same spread. Okay, there we go. For the good in us, which calls us to a better life, we give thanks.
For the strength to improve the world with our hearts and our hands, we offer praise.
For the desire in us, which leads us to work for peace, we are grateful.
For life and nature, harmony and beauty, for the hope of tomorrow, all praise to the source of being.
We thank you also for the miracles, for the redemption, for the mighty deeds and saving acts brought about by you, and for the wars which you waged for our ancestors in the days of old at this season. In the days of Mordecai and Esther, the wicked Haman arose in Persia, plotting the destruction of all the Jews. He planned to destroy them in a single day, the 13th of Adar, and to permit the plunder of their possessions. But through your great mercy, his plan was thwarted, his scheme frustrated. We therefore thank and bless you, O gracious God. For all these things, O sovereign, let your name be forever praised and blessed. O God, our Redeemer and Helper, let all who live affirm you and praise your name in truth. Blessed are you, Adonai. Your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving. Baruch atah Adonai, Hatov shimcha ulecha na'el lehodot. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Baruch atah Adonai hamivarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. We take a moment now for silent prayer. You might use the words on pages 283 through 285 or the meditations of your own heart. Yehiyu l'ratzon imrei fi v'hegyon libi lefanecha. Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, V'goali, V'goali. May the words of our mouths and the meditations of our hearts be acceptable to you, Adonai, our rock and redeemer. We turn our thoughts now to those who are ill, injured, or recovering from surgeries. Wow, I just blanked on that word. We have on our Misha Berach list this week Rosalind Cantu, Lori Perry, Nick Joliot, Rhonda Butler, Ira Dornfeld, Bev Conrad, Stephen Katz, Rabbi Bernhard Rosenberg, James Palmer, Ann Cohen, Anita Ash, Josiah Miller, Patty Bergeron, Jed Michael, Donna Goldstein, Taliba Hassan, Debbie Rubenstein, Sharonda Staden, Glenn Hoffman, Robin Callahan, Linda Hoffman, and Rhoda Wessler. Anyone else who has a name they'd like to add for healing, please do so.
Lawrence and Peter Hart and Rhoda Kozlite.
We hold in our hearts all those in need of healing of mind, body, and spirit. Mi sheberach avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi sheberach aimotenu mekor habracha la'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. We also pray for all those in our community who are active military duty, first responders, and peacekeepers, those around the world whose jobs are dangerous so that our lives might not be. We have on that list Oni Hinnanen, Joshua Ehrlichman, Martin Brown, Howard Mergler, Kyle Smet, Andrew Booth, Joseph Cald, Pete Abelson, Jeremy Sharkey, Benjamin Hurd, Alexander Furman, Daniel Gilman, Curtis Miller, Ben Farrell, Caleb Menzies, Francis Petraka, Noah Kaplan, Aaron Breeding, Dakota Rollins, Jacob Duvra, Jana Ingraham, Tyler Adcock, and Tom Trout Young. And of course, all those in the armed services and on the ships at sea that tune in and watch us from our YouTube channel. May the one who blessed our fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and our mothers, Sarah, Rebecca, Leah, and Rachel, bless those who are serving in our armed services. May God guard them and keep them from harm. If they find themselves in dangerous path, may God bring them back whole of mind and body to all those who love them. May it be your will, Adonai Tzevaot, to lead them to safety and to protect them from each and every enemy and ambush. May God make their journey successful and guard their going out and coming in with mercy and love, and let them be blessed to return home with life and peace now and forever. And let us say, if everyone had the joy of Shabbat that Alana has back there, the Messiah would be here. Okay, now we turn to our Megillah reading. So I would like to call up Sophie's going to read the blessings and help me hold open the Megillah scroll. Cole is going to be our narrator. Chase is King Ahasuerus. Ben is Mordecai. Emma is Vashti. And Victoria is Esther.
I remember to bring mine.
Excellent.
Can I wear the crown?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. What?
He was trying to put on the crown backwards.
Okay. Hold up.
She's gonna
Spot you? What?
no. Do I need to do this part?
Do you want? What? Ahasuerus. Do you want that one? Is the shorter one that I printed out, but I made some more edits, so it's a little easier. Okay.
I
Alright.
asked you to do this.
Okay, that's fine. Okay.
There's a Haman among us.
There's a
Who it is? So it says Ahasuerus.
Yeah.
Are you playing him?
Yes. Okay. But first, all right, you two are going to use this mic. I don't need the mic, but I do need some of the table. All right. First, let's do a practice run with the groggers. Does everyone have groggers that wants one? Okay. If you didn't get one and you want one, there's a bin by the door. That happens. There's another one right there, Era, if you want, on the piano. You don't have to go all the way to the door. All right. So here's how we're gonna practice. I'm gonna say Haman, and you're gonna make all the noise. And when I go like this, that means it's time to quiet down again, so we can continue with our story. All right, ready? Haman. All right, pretty good. Okay, let's do one more. Ready? Haman. Excellent. All right, we're ready. All right, Sophie, kick us off with the blessing. Oh, no, I lost my bookmark. No, wait, there's another one in it. Okay, go ahead.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedeshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al mikra megillah. Do I keep going?
Mm-hmm.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asa nisim lavotenu ba'im ha'hem batzam hazeh Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shekianu v'kimanu lazman hazeh.
Amen. Vayehi b'mei Achashverosh, Achashverosh, hamolech mihodu v'ad kush, sheva v'esrim u'mea medina, bayamim hahem ki shevet hamelech Achashverosh, al kisei malchuto, asher b'shushan habira, bishnat shalosh lemalcho, asa mishteh lechol sarav ve'avadav chel paras umadai partemim b'sarai hamedinot lefanav behar eti et asher kevod malchuto ve'et yikar tiferet gedulato yamim rabim Shmonim ume'at yom. And the English.
Ahasuerus was a king who loved to party. He threw parties for all the important nobles of the world, from India to Ethiopia. And he threw parties for all his local peasants and servants in the land of Shushan. After many days of partying, without ever leaving his banquet hall, he called for his servants to bring forth beautiful Queen Vashti to dance for him. But Vashti was in her comfy pants, having tea and cookies with the woman of Shushan, and she said no, so Vashti was kicked out of the palace. But after some time, King Ahasuerus missed having a queen. He called for all the beautiful maidens of the kingdom to be brought to him. Young women all over the kingdom came for the chance to find favor with the king. Among them, Hadassah, who introduced herself as Esther. Esther had brought to the palace by her foster father, a cousin named Mordecai. Mordecai had instructed Esther to not tell anyone of her family and heritage. That is, they were Jews and grandchildren of the one of the Israelites brought out of exile of Babylonia. When it was Esther's turn to come before the king, he fell in love with her at once and put on the royal dame on her head. Declaring her queen, Esther continued to keep secret her true identity, which meant Cousin Morty didn't get an invite to her coronation. While he was outside the palace gates, Mordecai overheard 2 guards plotting to kill King Ahasuerus. Mordecai told Esther, who reported it to the head of the guard staff. The treasonous guards were executed and the matter was recorded. Meanwhile, the King Ahasuerus promoted one of his local advisors, Haman, he placed Haman over all the rest of the council and commanded his couriers at the gate to bow to Haman whenever Haman was entering or exiting the palace. But Mordecai would not bow. When asked why, Mordecai simply said because he was a Jew. This enraged Haman, who vowed to kill Mordecai and all the Jews for this disrespect. He casts lots, or Purim, to decide on the date which he would hang Mordecai and begin his evil plan. The lots fell on the 13th of Adar. Haman told King Ahasuerus of his plans to kill the Jews throughout the kingdom, from India to Ethiopia. King Ahasuerus gave Haman his signet ring to seal the edict without much thought. Once the message was sent across the kingdom, King Ahasuerus and Haman feasted again. The people of Shushan sure liked their parties. When Mordecai heard about the edict, he tore his clothes and cried through the streets up to the palace gate. All the Jews throughout the kingdom did similarly, except for Esther. Mordecai sent a message up to Esther's room in the palace, asking her to tell the king Ahasuerus the truth about her family and heritage, and asked him to stop the edict. Esther replied to this message, "Everyone knows that if any person, even me, enters the king's presence in the inner court without have been summoned, they may be put to death. Only if the king extends his golden scepter to the visitor may they live. Now I have not been summoned to visit the king for the last 30 days. Do not imagine that you, of all Jews, will escape with your life by being in the king's palace. Rather, if you keep silence, help will come to the Jews from another source, while you and your family will perish. And who knows, perhaps you have come to a royal position just for a moment such as this." Then Esther agreed. "Go, assemble all the Jews who live in Shushan and fast on my behalf. Do not eat or drink for 3 days, night or day. I and my maidens will observe the same fast. Then I shall go to the king, though it is contrary to the law. and if I am to perish, I shall perish. So Mordecai went and did just as Esther asked him. Are you going to read it? Are you going to read it right now, or should I go on?
I'm going to read it first.
Okay.
I'm not mic'd anymore. Kol avdei hamelech, am hamedinot hamelech, יודעים asher kol ish ve'isha, asher yavo el hamelech, el hechatzer hapnimit, asher lo yikra achad dato, lehamit davar me'asher yoshit lo hamelech et sharvit hazahav v'chaya ve'ani lo nikrati lavo el hamelech ze 30 yom vayagidu leMordechai et divrei Esther vayomer Mordechai lahashiv el Esther El tadami nafshech lehamlet beit hamelech mikol hayehudim ki im hacharesh techarishi beit hazot revach hatzaleh ya'amod layehudim mimakom acher ve'et uvet avicha tovedu umi yodea im le'at kazot hagat lemalchut betomer Esther lahashiv al Mordechai lech kenos et kol hayehudim himtzaim b'shushan b'tzumo alai ve'al tochlu ve'el tishto 30 yamim laila ve'yam gam ani nirati atzim chen uvechen avo el hamelech asher lo chadat.
3 days later, Esther put on her royal finery and approached the king's throne room. As soon as he saw her, he extended the scepter toward her. She had entered the room and bowed before the king. King Ahasuerus, surprised that she had come unbidden, was nonetheless pleased and offered her half of his kingdom. Instead, Esther said she only wanted to ask him to come to a party she wanted to throw for him and Haman. The king agreed and told Haman was excited to be invited to a super exclusive party thrown by the queen. But nothing would ever really make him happy as long as Mordecai the Jew was still wandering around the palace gates. Later that night, the king couldn't sleep, so he asked the records book to be brought to him in order for him to read to sleep. He discovered the plot of the guards who wanted to kill him and learned that Mordecai had thwarted the plan, and without King Ahasuerus ever knowing. He wanted to honor Mordecai, but he wasn't sure how. He asked his trusty advisor, Haman, what should I do to show honor to a man who truly deserves it? Haman, thinking the king must surely mean him, told the king all the things that he would want: to wear the royal robes and crown, to be led through the streets on the king's horse, and to be led on the streets by the king's horse. Great! Will you please bring my crown and robes to Mordecai the Jew and lead him around Shushan on my horse yourself? So the next morning, Haman led Mordecai around like a prince in his total humiliation. When Haman got home after such unsettling experience, his wife Sheresh said to him, "If Mordecai, before whom you have begun to fall, is of Jewish stock, you will not overcome him. You will fall before him to your ruin." Evening came, and so did Esther's banquet. The king offered her half of the kingdom. She told King Ahasuerus that all she wanted was her life. She revealed that it was Haman who plotted to kill her, for she was a Jew. In a flash, the executioner's hood was over Haman's face. He was killed that very night on his own devices built for Mordecai. The next day, the king decreed that Esther shall inherit everything that belonged to Haman and gave Mordecai his ring. Now that Esther had revealed their kinship, they reminded King Ahasuerus that his edict was still out in other provinces, and just because Haman was dead didn't mean they or any other Jews were safe yet. So the king gave money and arms to all the Jews and all the provinces in his kingdom, and issued a second edict that they may fight to defend themselves. And so, on the 15th of Adar, the Jews in Shushan and all around the provinces of Persia and Media defended themselves against thousands of enemies, and they were safe. The Jews enjoyed light and gladness, happiness and honor. The Jews in Shushan fought for an extra day to ensure all their enemies were slain, and they feasted and rested on the 15th, while rest of the Jews in unwalled towns made their holiday on the 14th. These events were recorded by Mordecai and decreed by Esther as an official cause to celebrate, thus establishing the holiday of Purim for Jewish people. And all of these things are written in the book of Chronicles of the kings of Media and Persia, affirming our people's victories. For Mordecai the Jew was next to King Ahasuerus and great among the Jews, accepted by a multitude of his brothers, seeking the good of people and speaking peace to all his descendants. The end.
Someone pointed out recently that it's very Jewish that Mordecai saves all of the Jews of an entire kingdom, and he's still only beloved by most of his brethren. There's still some Jews out there that are like, we could do better.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, harav et revenu, v'hadan et dedenu, v'hanokem et nikmatenu. Yerushalayim, gamul yilachol ove, nafshenu v'chanirfar lanu, mitzra'enu, Baruch atah Adonai, hanifra la'amo Yisrael, mikol tzarim ha'el ha'moshiach.
Amen.
Amen.
And to just wrap up how delightful and Purim-tastic that was. Oh, this is another one that requires good grogger spinning and stopping skills, okay? Chag Purim. So when we say Rosh, 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 that means noise. So you want to make all the noise. Then you got to stop after the last Rosh so that you can sing the rest of the song. Ready? Chag Purim, Chag Gadol LaYehudim, Masechot Rashanim, Shirim Berikudim, Havanarisha, Rosh, 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 Havanarisha, Rosh, 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 Havanarisha, Rosh, 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 Parashanim, Chag Purim, Ze'el Ze Shulchan Manot, Machmadim, Mamtakim, Tenufim Migdanot, Havanarisha, Rosh, 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 Havanarisha, Rosh, 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 Havanarisha, Rosh, 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 Parashanim. All right, toward our closing songs, or our closing blessings, I should say, we've got Aleinu on page 586. I'd like to call back up all of our religious school students. If Rafi's still out there, he can come too. Open up the ark. Yes. The door to the ark, page 586. Everyone else, please prepare yourself for the ark to be open. Is it locked? Did somebody lock it because it was already unlocked earlier and they got confused? Oh, okay, pull harder. There we go, okay. Alenu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kugoye haratzot, v'lo samanu kamishbechot ha'adama, shelo sam chalkenu kahem, v'gor alenu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, v'nemar, v'haya Adonai, lemelech al kol ha'aretz, bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad. You may be seated. Now we turn our thoughts to those who are no longer with us in body, but remain with us in spirit. This week marks a yahrzeit for Mark Edward Schoenberg, Jenny Ash, Howard Van Schaik, Doris Van Schaik, Doris Dornfeld, Samuel Bosson, Carl Weissman, Renee Hayes, and Joseph Lefferson. And we are still within the year of mourning for Dr. Jack Schuber, Aaron Scanlon, Lieutenant Colonel Stanley Heath, Mary Kennedy, Minna Dornfeld, Numaita Enol Dopash, Arlena Nunziata, Linda Gaynor Perry, Sam Mergler, Tom Lonergan, Harvey Lehman, Anna Schatz, and Liz Petrie. If anyone else has a name they'd like to add at this time, please do so. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. The Mourner's Kaddish is on page 598. Mourners and those who wish to join them may rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah ve'alma divra chiruteh v'amlich malchuteh v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala uv'izman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lalmei almaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudasha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim alenu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom alenu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. You may be seated. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom alenu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru. Amen. Ya'aseh shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. V'imru. A couple of announcements. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. at Blooms Park, there is another, our monthly meditative walk. And then at 6 p.m., right back here, is our Purim party and our Shushan Breakfast Club Purim Spiel. Sunday is religious school and adult ed. Next week, regular Shabbat service back at 7:30. I think that's it. Next week is a normal week, quiet week, right? Is there game night? Okay, no, nothing happening else next week. Okay. Even though we are still celebrating Purim this week, please know that Passover is less than a month away. Who's freaking out? Not me. So mark your calendars. The Seder will be here on April 6th. That is a Thursday, but that's our traditional second night Seder. So I hope you can make it. If you need to take that Friday morning off, put in your time now. Did you have something else that I forgot? You looked like... There's no official Purim party. We would like, I don't know if it's too late at this point, but if you are planning to come and haven't already told Debbie or Juliet, give them a shout. They're preparing the food, and it would be helpful to have an idea of who's coming. There's no fee, but we will be asking for donations at the door. Yes? Yes, the kids get breakfast too, but then they go back to class and the parents learn something with me. What are we learning? I don't know yet. For the 19th, okay. Yeah, what else am I forgetting? The 26th. That's a Friday, I think. Sunday, sure, yeah, that sounds right. Oh. We have a welcoming committee. Here? Okay, so that was the 26th. That's the Sunday, two Sundays from now, from this one. Okay, so just in case anyone couldn't hear that, or if there are any new members watching on this stream, so that's a new member brunch, Sunday, March 26th. If you joined in the last 2 years and didn't get that invite, send an email to treasurer@nershalomva.org. You are invited if you joined in the last 2 years. So make sure you, noon, between Sunday school and adult ed, that's what yeah. Okay. All right, I think that's all the news that's fit to print, as they say. Somebody says that. I don't know. All right. This is a work in progress, folks, this tune for Adon Olam. So I'm not going to tell you what tune it is, because if it's really bad, don't at me. See, if you know what it is, then I know. All right. 625 is where you can find the words to Adon Olam. Adon Olam asher malach b'terem kol yetzir nivra li'et nasa v'chefza kol azai melech shemo nikra ve'acharei kichlot hakol levado yimlok nora ve'hu haya ve'hu hoveh ve'yuhiye v'tifara Adon Olam Asher malach, Adon Olam Asher malach, b'terem kol yetzir nivra, li'et nasa v'chefza kol, azai melech shemo nikra, v'hu echad ve'ein sheni, lahamshil lo lahachbira, ve'li reshit ve'li tachlit, ve'lo ha'oz v'hamisra, Adon Olam, Asher malach, Adon Olam Asher malach, b'terem kol yetzir nivra, li'et nasa v'chefza kol, azai melech shemo nikra, ve'hu eli v'chagor li, v'tzorchev li be'et zara, ve'hu nisi v'umanos li, manat kosi b'yom ekra, Adon Olam, Asher malach, Adon Olam Asher malach, b'terem kol yetzir nivra, li'et nasa v'chefza kol, azai melech shemo nikra, biyado af kiruchi, ve'eti shan v'a'ira, ve'im ruchi geviati, Adonai liba lo ira, Adon Olam, Asher malach, Adon Olam Asher malach, b'terem kol yetzir nivra, li'et nasa v'chefza kol, azai melech shemo nikra. And then there's that weird outro. Shabbat Shalom! What?